Hey friend, how you doing? Welcome to Soulvine. This is Jamie. Let's check in and see what is going on. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive into love and check out the love energy right now between you and them and see what the major energy themes are. So first up, we've got indecision and woman holding a heart. When I connected into this, I was thinking of you, Pisces. Oh. So we'll put you over here. So your energy right now is showing up. Sorry, I dropped a card, so I just had to pick that up. Yeah, the energy is showing up with being unsure about perhaps a certain situation. On how you're feeling or how you should feel. I think there's something here that is new potentially, or where you may want to open up. But right now you could be a little bit closed off, understanding more about how you're feeling about this situation. Let's have a look at the other party. We've got Angel of Balance. Journey. Let's get one more. And anxiety. So you lean into which energy you most relate to. But having a look here, yeah, we've got, we're also showing up with the other energy with Angel of Balance, Journey, and anxiety. So it seems like this too is something new for them. Maybe they've been working on themselves and feel they are in a place to take an opportunity to lean in, to take a chance here, because it is a bit of a risk for them as well, right? I think any relationship dynamic that you're wanting to repair, that you're wanting to connect into that's new, or wanting to, explore, sometimes there's this risk of, okay, I open up my heart, I can be hurt. And with the anxiety energy, we're seeing here that the other party is also feeling the intensity of this, in the unknown. Maybe they are a bit more of an anxious attachment style. They've, again, been hurt or experienced something. And this could be also what you're experiencing. And this is where the indecision could be coming in. You could be looking at, is this person, feeling what I'm feeling? Are they interested? Are they open? Are they available? Are they closed off? So there could be a lot of questions happening here that you're looking into. Let's have a look at what could be challenging this connection on both sides. So on your side, you've got Thief energy. You've got Change. And you've got Coffin. So you're going through a significant shift here. I think it's got to do with trust and openness, okay? I think for some of you too, while that energy that you've experienced before has completed, you're looking for something new. I feel like you're ready to open up and awaken. But there's still this transformation I feel that you're also going through as well as you're going through this situation or connection right now. Let's have a look on the other side, what their challenge is. We've got Message. We've got Judication. And Community. Interesting. I'm getting a bit of judgment energy from their side. And this is maybe part of the anxiety that they're feeling, or wanting to take a leap and step into this connection and see where this goes, or how, like I said, how to develop it, and how to engage and work this out. If there has been a bit of a challenge between you, I can see, both sides here. It's where is this going? It just seems like there's information that they're assessing right now. I don't know if some of you are connecting with friends or choosing to meet with friends or meet each other's friends. There's definitely something here where more people are involved. And that could also be putting a little bit of tension in this dynamic here. I don't know if there's a bit of pressure from some side or someone's putting the pressure on themselves. I feel there's something about being more inclusive that one party is experiencing somewhere along the lines here. Let's dive in and have a look more how you're feeling towards this person. How's Pisces feeling towards this person? So you've got the Nine of Wands, you've got the Five of Pentacles, and then the Two of Pentacles. So this is showing again, Pisces, you are in a little bit of energy that is protective, that has done a lot of work, I feel, in getting to where you are. Your own healing, your own growth, your own self-care. But there's also this part of being really protective of what you've created and what you've built. And maybe too, you're quite strong on your boundaries, on what you expect. But you're still holding ground. You're still holding the fort here. It's interesting because while I feel you're very protective, I still feel that you're open in some degree. But I think you're waiting to see very much how they're showing up here. You know, are there someone that's going to stay? Are there someone that's going to bolt? Are there someone who's going to put in effort? And I think that's what you're waiting or wanting to identify. Is this person really invested? Because I feel that's where this daughter romance, the possibility is there, but I'm seeing the being a little bit closed off because you're being protective over this. I don't know too if you're recognizing, because sometimes when there's a little bit of anxiety coming across from an energy, that it can seem like someone could be playing a little bit insecure or sometimes tilt in a little bit of victim mode. You know, excuses, reasons for something. So it's interesting that you don't have a lot of Cups energy when it comes to feelings, or any Cups energy when it comes to feelings. I can see that you're open. I can see that you're connected. But there's also this part you're really looking at what they're doing and how they're showing up. And I give credit to you because I think that's really important here. Let's have a look how they're feeling about you. Thank you, Spirit. So I've got Three of Pentacles. So they've got a lot of, you know, connected energy, group energy, people, I feel around them, or that they want to be a part of. Like, yeah, they must have people, group, family, or something in their life that's really important to them, or they spend a lot of time with potentially, or they rely on in some way or another. I've got a lot going on here. Okay. Wow. They have the Sun, the Two of Cups. Wow. Ace of Swords, the Chariot, Nine of Pentacles. Well, this is pretty smack bang on, you know, in terms of how they're feeling. They're pretty clear that they want to come forward here towards you. You know, the Sun energy as we know it, this is about someone who wants to build and grow together. And I feel like they're getting to some truth and some understanding and clarity on how they're feeling about you, on what this relationship means, on them wanting to come towards you and let you know and understand too, perhaps how you're feeling. Maybe they need some, like I said, some confirmation as well, because they're feeling a little bit anxious in some regard. It's kind of cute, the energy underneath. Like, it puts a smile on my face. You know, that part of being curious, but being open. But also I like it. You know, I'm going to take this more the masculine side, but you take whichever side you feel most connected to. It just seems like this energy does want to come forward. They're pretty determined to come forward, but it's like they may have needed a little bit of time or a little bit of thinking or a little bit of understanding of themselves and what they're willing to do, and potentially too if they feel it's worth it for themselves, right? Like I said, I think going into any connection or any situation where you're taking a risk on your heart and your feelings and being hurt, and I feel like this person's just really clear on who you are in their life or how they feel about you. So I feel like this is really positive energy forward for you, where you're more in protective mode, right? So different energies in the way that you're showing up, but you're still open. You're just protective and very strong boundaries held when it comes to who you are and how you operate in a relationship dynamic at this point in your life. But they're very, I feel, attracted to you. They really look at you as someone who's strong, someone who's, is connected, someone who is I'll say strongly independent, and they see your confidence in how you show up in the world, and they really, really, I feel, acknowledge that and see that, and I think you inspire them in some way as well. Let's take a peek and see where this connection is going. Got the Ace of Cups. Nice. We've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Queen of Swords. Just going to put this over here. We've got the Ten of Wands. Got the Seven of Wands here. One more, thank you, Spirit. And the Six of Cups. Okay. Five of Wands, Page of Cups, Two of Swords underneath. Okay, what's interesting about this energy right now is it seems like there's an element here of feeling this new energy, feeling this new connection, whether this is, again, new or something that you're working on, or seeing as a potential to go somewhere. I can see there's some aspect here. I feel this is a newer connection. I'm getting more maybe like 6 months you guys may have been connected, could be 9 months, maybe a little bit more, but it just seems like there was a beginning at some point in time here that seemed new, but there may have been for some of you, because there's two different narratives coming through, and I'm going to share that with you. So again, take what resonates. But I feel like you did have a start with this person where there was, this exciting feeling that came with it when you met, but then there was some form of disappointment here. Perhaps the things that you got excited about didn't eventuate, but maybe you believed that you were meant to be with this person at some point in time, but it didn't go that way. And maybe after some conversation or some understanding or some truth and some questions, you got to a point that this became too heavy and too intense, and maybe you ended up blocking this connection. Again, this could be vice versa energy, but there is some reflection here of maybe them coming back into your life, and that's what this is about. If they have come back into your life, this is where you could be a bit more protective, going, hang on, what's going on here? So this person could be anxious coming forward based on your decision, based if you're going to include them and whatever else here. So as the story, is developing, this is kind of where things seem to be expanding right now. For another bunch of you, there's this energy, like I said, where there's this new connection or again, this spark in the way that you feel about this situation, which I can see here. I can see that there's care here and energy here between you. But there may also be, at some point in time, some reflection of loss that once someone had. So that could be you or them, or maybe you guys have been reflecting on talking about, your past and the disappointments and the hurts and whatever else, and maybe that conversation, you're learning more about them and them about you. But there's also this element as well of, wanting to connect, wanting to talk. And that's an important piece for you, understanding more truth about this person and whether there is the potential for this alignment or connection to move forward in the way that you're hoping. Because I can see there's a little bit of pressure for you, maybe, having some conversations that you could be feeling. But what I do like here is that whatever's happening, and no matter what you're feeling, you're taking the steps forward and the approach forward to really understand, I feel, a lot about the past, or a lot about them and who they are and maybe how they grew up and all these things. I think you're looking at more layers to understand the makeup of a person on a mental front, which I can understand, looks at that and how important it is in the way someone is built. And maybe, that helps you understand in the way that they operate, past experiences, traumas, and everything else. Further to this, I feel like someone here, there could be some pressure here, or you could have learned that there is still another connection outside the mix, so an ex or something of that nature. And a part of that, you could be a little bit concerned here, or feeling a little bit, not necessarily withdrawn emotionally, but there's this part of you waiting to see what happens. And again, you could be trying to uncover some understanding around that. And that's putting a little bit of pressure on, what to do here. And that could be part of your protective energy. But in addition here, I do feel someone may be blocking someone from their past if you are concerned about it. Let's see if there's anything else that you need to know about this connection. Is there anything else we need to know? Thank you, Spirit. Anything else we need to do, and advice regarding this connection? So we've got the Page of Materials. We've got the Magician energy. One more. Thank you, Spirit. And the Four of Emotions. Let's just get one more for the Four of Emotions. Thank you. Okay. So Pisces, looking at this in terms of the energy and the potential advice here and where this is moving forward, I do feel like there are some moving parts here. I do feel that this situation is showing that there's energy and interest in it. Someone's recognizing you here for who you are. And I feel like there's been a pretty significant realization that there is more to this connection. But I can see, again, there's this little bit of protective energy, or someone's feeling a little challenged. This could be the person that you're dealing with. You may be experiencing it in your own way, because we can kind of see this a little bit. But there is this element too of feeling a little bit challenged when it comes to how to feel about this, and if you should be staying open and connected to it. And I can see that's, it's stirring up a little bit in terms of this connection. We do have the Sun energy. We've got the Judgment, which is the awakening energy. And the Queen of Emotions. So there's you again. So it's interesting when we do connect to this, because what it does tell us here, as you're moving through this, I do feel that you will get over that particular hurdle here. And the Sun, again, we've spoken about, I think, in the last read, right? It's quite healing energy. It's something that shines a light on something, opens up a situation, heals a situation, or helps you see things for what they are to allow you to make decisions in your best interest. And whatever this is, this decision, I see this is going to be about you and focused on you, which I think is a great thing. I think ultimately, and at the end of the day, whatever decision that you make, I can see it's something that is connected to how you feel and your intuition here. And that's what Spirit's kind of asking you. I think, the other thing with the Queen of Emotions, which is Queen of Cups, is a very patient energy and an energy that has a lot of compassion and understanding towards a situation. I think there's going to be a point in time to determine whether this is in your best interest or whether this is taking too much time and your energy moving through this situation. Are you finding your days are filled with feeling good, or are they filled with feeling questions? You don't have clarity, or you don't understand where something's going. I feel you will have these conversations at some point in time, either which way, but I think this is what's going to help you identify where you actually want to take this dynamic and what you want to do with this. I do see strongly, like I said, that this person wants to come towards you or will be coming towards you. I feel that they're pretty clear on how they feel about you, but they may take a little bit of step away to I guess identify it within themselves, right? And I think there's nothing wrong with a person acknowledging that or taking their time to see where that the connection goes and where they feel, whether you guys are a strong fit, whether this person can give the way that you give. So I feel the assessment or the time that this person's taking to build with you, it seems like a beautiful one. And I feel like it's getting to a clearer path of connection and of coming together. As I said, for some of you, there is this part where I think you may have started at some point and it didn't maybe eventuate. Maybe there's someone coming back here. But for others of you, this is something that is growing in time. I think people are working out their bits and pieces, that come up when relationships, love and heart is open. Overall, Pisces, I think, being protective of yourself, I think that's a great thing. Being aware, being open, being caring and being real with what's going on. I can tell here that for some of you that there has been, areas of trust that may have been broken in the past, and you want things different this time. And I think that's why the methodology and the way that you're going about it is very supportive for you. So I'm going to leave that there, dear friend. Thanks so much for being here. Let me know in the comments below how this connects for you. And I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Bye now.